Hey guys, Artarot here, and today I decided to give in to a popular YouTube video subject and make a top 5 list. Only because I'm selfish and self-centered, this list will be about things that piss me off, personally. Now maybe you'll agree with some of it, maybe you won't, maybe you'll burn my house down, but regardless, I just hope to spread some wisdom to the masses, so the masses can spread this video to other masses. So, here's the top 5 list of personal peeves. Fifth place goes to the Skyrim's PS3 expansions, or lack thereof. Okay, this is actually a pretty recent peeve, but still, I'm a PlayStation 3 owner, and the fact that no expansions have been released on the system, and might never well see the PlayStation 3, it just drives me crazy, because it ties to one of my earliest videos, which had to do with cross-console gaming. You can check it out if you want, link in the description, but if not, well, suffice to say, I mentioned that I didn't want to spend $300-odd on an Xbox 360 just to play the 4 or 5 games that I haven't gotten to experience yet. It was just not enough bang for my buck, when a bulk of the offered games are on both platforms. So, how do you think I feel about the possibility of having to either buy a much faster computer, or spend $300 on a 360, $50 on a compatible copy of Skyrim, and then the extra bit of money to buy the actual expansions? Now, I'm sorry. The fact that it's a technical issue isn't much of an excuse, because for those of you who are recent purchasers of the game, or just haven't tried it out, Skyrim's PlayStation 3 version was riddled with this kind of bullshit, including a glitch or bug that resulted in the game getting extremely laggy when the save file got to a certain size. The save file. I mean, how do you... Then there was the patch to help improve transition to going underwater. A patch that made my game freeze whenever I tried to go underwater. I had to delete my game data and reinstall it from scratch. So, if these expansions can't come out on the PS3 because of instability issues, why did you guys leave it so unstable to begin with? Anyway, in fourth place are people who maintain a stubborn, illogical defiance of the truth. And I don't mean people who lie, I mean people who stick to their guns even when presented with conclusive evidence that they are wrong or are themselves lying. See, it's bad enough if you just try and invent excuses if you're caught in a lie, but at least that keeps the dialogue going. It's quite another thing if you just deny the lie and pretend it never happened, because, well, the proof is right in front of you, right fucking there. With these people, they could say, well, I never said this, and continue to say it, even if you link them to a YouTube comments post that they made wherein they said it. See, it annoys me because when that happens, there's nothing you can do but throw up your hands, roll your eyes, and give up. Because they're flat out covering their ears and going, na 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 na, can't hear you. Now, this is a favorite tactic of at least one troll I knew, the one in my pure troll fail video, who is probably convinced that he was victorious because I finally realized that I was wasting my time entertaining his rabid ramblings. And the reason for that was simply he was Teflon when it came to rational discussion or intelligent debate. He lied consistently over and over and over, and even when presented with irrefutable evidence of his bullshit, continued to maintain that he never said this or did that. I mean, come on, what's the entertainment value in dealing with someone who simply isn't a legitimate challenge to your intelligence? 'Cause fellas, it doesn't count if you ignore basic reality, or if you take only 4 or 5 insults and repeat them across 90 posts. In third place, unfinished television series. As I mentioned very briefly in a previous video, I have Netflix, which means I've got access to a whole boatload of television shows that went off the air and might not even have been on the air for any longer than their initial run. Now, this means I get to see a lot of really good stuff that I never would have even heard about before. But it also occasionally means that I fall victim to the dreaded early canceled curse. This, of course, is when you find a show, really enjoy it, get into the plot, get invested in the characters, only to have the entire thing come to a screeching halt without warning. Now, some might assume that I'm going to reference Firefly, but though I love the series, it doesn't really apply here, partially because the series itself didn't develop far enough to leave any particularly poignant questions, and the questions it did leave were more or less answered by the movie Serenity, except for who Shepherd Book used to be. Who did he used to be, Whedon? Huh? Sorry. Anyways, the series I have in mind is one that lasted only 9 episodes, called My Own Worst Enemy. It's a spy show with a twist. I'm not going to give you the entire breakdown, but it starred Christian Slater, someone I've been a fan of, and yet who seems to randomly vanish and reappear throughout his career. So I started watching the episodes on Netflix, and really started to enjoy it. Good performances, and while the entire concept was maybe a little too high-tech sci-fi spy to appeal to some, I enjoyed the idea of a secret agent with an implanted split personality to maintain his cover. Anyway, I get to the final episode, during which the central base of this group of spies is infiltrated, sabotaged, one of the main characters is killed. A big mystery is left as to who the traitor is, with the last scene being the facility's computer being compromised and the power going out. And that was the last episode. Ever. So, there's a whole bunch of questions that are never, ever going to be answered. Dilemmas that will never be resolved. God damn it. Personally, I think maybe Netflix should include a frickin' tag or label warning about this shit, because the same thing happened when I watched Reaper. Second place, people who can't aim when they pee. Look, I can't even count the number of times that I go to the washroom at work or at a public place, only to find the toilet seat covered in piss. Hell, sometimes there's some on the fucking floor. Now, this might seem like a small complaint, but there's 2 reasons it stays one of my greatest peeves. First, obviously, it's disgusting since I have to clean it up if, God forbid, I want to use the toilet. Second, it's just stupidity and laziness on 3 levels. First, they didn't bother to aim properly. Second, they didn't bother to clean up after themselves. And third, they didn't even lift the toilet seat before using it. I mean, come on, guys. How hard is it to lift a seat? They're not that heavy, and as much as women might complain about how guys leave the toilet seat up, at least that means they lifted it in the first place. Trust me, ladies, you don't want them to forget entirely. Look, let me make it really simple. If you can't aim, can't clean up, or can't take basic precautions to keep all the piss in the bowl, then you officially are not capable of peeing like a big boy. So sit down. Finally, first place goes to 2 things actually. Rabid fanboys and rabid haters. Basically, when people get to either a positive or negative extreme about some celebrity or console or, iJustine being a prime example, because I see a lot of both sides of the coin there. I see fans who are absolutely devoted, to the point where many of them would probably dislike this video at around this point, upon seeing that I mentioned iJustine in a way that wasn't praising her. On the other hand, I see people who are apparently rabidly furious as to this woman's very existence, treating it as nothing short of an abomination upon this very earth, to the point of inventing the moniker I-whore, and shit like that. I'm sorry, but really? Okay, I'm not an iJustine fan, her channel just isn't my cup of tea, but I still can't quite grasp the almost religious strength with which these people either love or hate her, especially hate. Considering I find her content far less aggressive than what most of her haters deliver on their channels, I fail to see what's so incredibly disruptive or destructive about her. Now, I know this doesn't apply to all her fans, and I'm sure some of the haters are just finding a nice big soapbox to stand on, but plenty people are just genuinely loathing of this person that they've never met, never will meet, and very well might never have so much as exchanged a message with. I mean, why? Do you guys hate so easily? Or do you think that she's not worthy of the fans she has, and therefore should be punished by the YouTube moral authority to which you have apparently elected yourselves for some reason? Alright guys, that's it for today. Hope everyone has a good one. Feel free to list your own peeves in the comment section below. I have a Twitter account now, so by all means, follow me at Arterot if you want the occasional bit of nonsensical gibberish. Now, this is Arterot telling all you guys out there that if I catch you pissing on the seat, I will make you clean it with your nose. Thank you.